In this presentation, I will show you how to use the NER&Beyond online platform for, well, as the name says, self-named entity recognition and beyond that. So, first, the URL is ner&beyond.jertech.rs, and this interface consists of several panels that all do different but related tasks, and I'm going to now go through each and show you how you can use it. So basically we have now groups of panels here, so to say. So for example, this group over here with these arrows, right? These are different conversions between different formats. Then this part over here is to use train models for name entity recognition, and in order to annotate your text. And this is the last two panels are just for different statistics and evaluation. And the first panel, well, it's well, basically just a replacement for something that we could actually do manually, but it's for some situations maybe it could be more convenient to use this one. So let's start from exactly this first panel. So for every panel, you can see firstly here is a short description. What is the purpose of the panel and what kind of input is expected by the system. So for example, over here it says like this: the user should upload an archive, a zip archive, and it should contain two folders zipped in, well, this archive, gold and to map. So gold is basically just gold should contain ANN files, so files with ANN extension. This is the so-called standoff format. So what is the standoff format? Let me show you first. This format contains a layer of annotations in this manner. So each line represents a single entity. First is the identifier of an entity, then this is the category of the name entity, and well, this is here we have actually a tab character. And then this is the name of the entity, the category of the entity, the type of the entity. Now these numbers here, these integers, represent from character in position 0 to character at position 4. So, and this is the content of the entity itself. So it means that Sony in the text is spanned over, it starts as a first character, and we count from O, and the last character is so 0, 1, 2, 3, so it ends at position 4. So where do we use this standoff format? Well, there are different platforms for annotation of name entities, and one that I'll be showing you now is Brat. So you can see this Brat platform at this URL, brat.jertech.rs, and so once you log in, you can see different collections of documents. And so for example, I'll just select one collection, and this is a novel, and this novel was divided into chapters. It has 13 chapters, so I'll just randomly select chapter, and now this is the text of the chapter. It's in the HTML format, but that is not our concern at all. So we are interested in now reading the text. So the text could be, for example, just given as a plain text, and then in case we are annotators, we should just read the text and then annotate different entities which are agreed in advance, such as person or role or a demographic or organizations and locations and so on. Or perhaps it could be just automatically annotated by a tool such as with some model, previously trained model, for example, in Stanford NER tool, or a Spacey Python module, and so on, or some other system. This doesn't matter. So for example, let me just see. I can just now read the text carefully, and in case that I just identify some entity that wasn't annotated or was misannotated, annotated wrongly, for example, if it was annotated as a person but I consider it location or something like this. So user should just now hover, just should select the characters of the entity, and now choose from the predefined list of entities. So for example, well, this is not true, so I just okay, so now this is something. So let's say, for example, here this should be a person, and then this is already checked, okay, and now it's person. I can also change the annotation to some other type and so on. Okay, so basically standard form, and this is why I was showing it. Here in the upper panel we can go, so collection is the previous dialog that I showed, and now have data. Now how is this text represented? Actually it's a combination of two files. So one is just txt, so just text. Okay, doesn't matter, this is txt file that contains XML, but this is not a problem, so it's just plain text without any annotated entities. And on top of that, the top layer is this ANN file. This is the standard format that we've just seen. So you see different entities, each begin with its identifier, and then there is a tab character, and there is the type of the entity, and the starting character, ending character, and the content of the entity itself. So for example, this entity starts from character in position 101, so it's actually this one over here. Okay, so let's go back to the first panel. So let's say that we have this these texts that were annotated or just simply controlled and potentially corrected by human annotators, and this is something we now consider gold standard. So something that is just, well, it's perfect. It doesn't have to be necessarily, but we just don't think too much about it. We just consider, yes, so if a human annotator read it, then and controlled it, then it must be better than a machine. Okay, now maybe we wanted to compare now some performance of some other model for name entity recognition, and different models that were pre-trained. Maybe they automatically annotate the same entities, but for example, they just name it differently, or maybe some entities are the same as the entities that were annotated here, and some are totally different. So maybe in case we want to perform any comparison, or in case that we want to use this automatic annotation, and in order to put this annotated document